Running a home service business is hard. So how is it that some people make it look so easy? Well, we'll tell you. This is the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. It's always good to hear the wins that successful contractors have. But have you ever thought that the best advice would be to hear about the speed bumps they encountered, the mistakes they've made along the way? We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want you to be successful and avoid the mistakes others have made. Let's get this party started. Welcome to the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. Now your host, Justin Deese.
Welcome to Freedom Blueprint Podcast. I know I say this a lot, that I have a really special guest, but today I actually have three of my favorite people on the planet that are hanging out with me, and we're going to get to talk to them, and it's going to be recorded, so we can hold this against them if we need to. So my amazing wife, Kristen, she's on here quite often as a co-host, so she's on here today, and then we have our two amazing children / young adults / whatever else hanging out with us too. So we wanted to just have a little bit of a conversation about being a kid of entrepreneurs and how that's either helped or hurt. We don't know yet. We'll find out during the podcast because obviously they're exposed to things a little bit different than if we had, what are we going to call it, traditional
or normal,
traditional, like 9 to 5. So welcome, guys. Welcome. And thank y'all for coming and hanging out.
Thank you for inviting me on. Great to be here, obviously. Little hesitation after the amazing and before the children that, what's going on with that? Because I know we are amazing children, but either way.
Hey guys, it's Addy. I'm the wonderful favorite daughter.
That is true. That's true. So before we get into asking you guys questions, let's do this. Addy, tell us age. Give us the quick, where's Addy at now?
Okay. I'm 17. I'm a senior in high school.
What are activities you like to do?
I cheer all the time. Always cheering. Always practicing. Then I don't have time for any other hobbies, so that's really it.
That's pretty time consuming.
Yeah, I bet. 19, live in Hubert, North Carolina with my wife, Sabrina. Could not be here today, unfortunately. In the Marines, Lance Corporal, working in armory. I like guns, obviously. I like cars. Anything that's really loud is like super cool. And that's pretty much my whole bio.
What you got?
That's your turn.
Over there. We didn't even...
Like, where am I? Who am I?
No, not...
I don't have to say my age,
I think everybody knows where you are.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so the truth is, a lot of times they say that, there's a certain percentage of people that listen to the podcast for the first time ever. So I guess I probably should have started with this, but I didn't. So we do have different businesses, and we've bought businesses and sold businesses. I'll let them tell you. You can tell them what you do.
Well, right now, I am the virtual CFO for the trades. So I help business owners get more comfortable and confident with their numbers. That is kind of today's journey, but it's been many years of being in the trenches and in the businesses and in the numbers and all the things. So,
well, awesome. So we wanted to, kind of just pepper the kids with some questions. We're actually in North Carolina right now for the Thanksgiving break. We're at a beach house, which is amazing, but it's 30-something degrees outside, so not a lot of outdoor activities. And we thought it'd be kind of cool to just, talk to you guys about growing up as kids of entrepreneurs and how that might be different than what your friends grew up. I don't know. Do you have some input on that?
So many of you who have been following us for a long time know that when the kids were younger, we unenrolled them from traditional school and put them in Florida virtual school for a semester, and we traveled across the country in the RV. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you guys today is, do you remember when we originally said that we were going to not do school for a little bit and spend some time in the RV? And if you remember it, what was your initial thought?
Well, first, I would like to say, if you want to know more about the RV trip, you can read When Your Business Partner Is Your Spouse by Justin and Kristen Deese.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug, very good.
No, that's not shameless. That's awesome.
Do you remember the original question?
I remember it now.
Doesn't matter. She got the plug in. That's all that matters.
I mean, I was in 4th grade, so I wasn't like super hurt or upset. I think I was pretty excited. Pretty sure I was pretty excited.
I was excited about. I heard no school.
Yeah.
Like we're pulling you out of school, and I was like, okay, word.
Yeah, I think I
Now
agree
we're-
with that.
Now we're gonna have some fun. Didn't stay out of school, unfortunately, but honestly, my initial thought was just like kind of upset because I was like, well, all my friends are here, and now we're in a tuna can, and we're in the other side of, in 6th grade time, the planet. So you're super far away from everybody. Not necessarily like saying technology wasn't there, but for us it wasn't because we had like Kindle Fire. So it's not like you're hitting your homeboys on Snapchat or anything. So I remember like from before we did it until like the first couple of days of us doing it being really weird, kind of sad. But then after that, like I still remember, not all of it, but there's definitely some things that I remember, like I would love to go back there. That was a super cool thing. I wish I could go back because I would appreciate it more now. Even though I've already been, it would be like the first time going again. So I would love to get to travel the country.
Yeah, me and Zack talk about this a lot, is we enjoyed doing it at the age that we did because everything that we were doing was new to us. But if we were to do it again, it would be super cool because we would just like get to learn more and get to understand more.
I definitely think we did it at the right time.
I do
think,
agree with that. Yeah.
I think had we done it a couple years later.
It would have been harder because there's no privacy on the bus.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And angst.
Everybody knows everybody's bathroom schedules when you spend 6 months on an RV.
Yeah.
I think it would have been harder.
And they had a bunkhouse. So the layout of the RV was actually really perfect for what we were doing. But there was the little bunk section where the kids had a little bunk section. The problem is that was right outside the bathroom, right outside the bathroom of it.
Sure was.
Hey.
It was a great age, though, because they were not too wrapped up in extracurriculars. And it was only temporary. It was only 6 months. It wasn't like we were moving away forever. Okay, so when you think back to the trip itself, so we left Florida and we spent a few days in Texas, and then we made our way out to California. We stayed out in California for a little while, went up to the Grand Canyon, made our way back. Of all of the places that we stayed, is there one that you remember the most that sticks out that you liked for sure that you want to go back to?
I remember we stayed in Texas for like 3 weeks, and I like vividly remember the place that we were staying. I liked that place a lot.
Was that Texas or was that Southern California?
Texas.
That would have been at Pecan Plantation.
Oh,
Because we
that's
did like
right.
the boat,
Okay, yeah,
the
yeah.
archery and
Oh,
all
yeah.
those activities.
That's
That
for
was-
Jordy and Haley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was really fun.
Honestly, a lot of what I can remember right now, it's not necessarily hazy, but I can remember like almost like clips, like a video. But I cannot tell you anything about the place that we were at. So if I could just do the whole entire route again, and then just like take pictures of everything, I might be able to let you know. But
We
like,
can make that happen.
I remember like from the area of like right when Texas becomes desert to like
That's called West Texas.
right. So empty Texas till like Southern California was a super cool stretch because like it was like nothing, and then there'd be like one cool little weird thing,
Yeah.
and then like nothing some more, and then another cool little weird thing.
We went through a lot of ghost towns during that. That was
Yeah,
fun.
that
That
was
was
super sick.
really kind of scary in 4th grade, but it was fun. I remember there was one place we stayed with the bear as like the mascot, and I liked that place because there's a lot of kids there. But I don't. That's about
Oh,
it.
that was
Like the
that was
it's
Tennessee.
one of the Yogi. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
that was in
Yes.
Tennessee.
Yes.
Yogi Bear.
Remember that?
Campground.
Yogi. That wasn't Tennessee.
That was jelly something, jellyfish or
Jellystone.
jelly something like that.
Jellystone.
Jellystone. But
Did you say jelly roll?
I was saying jellyfish, but it's something like that.
We went to, when we were at the Grand Canyon stop, it was the only place where it snowed. And we woke up one morning and it was so cold outside that the frost was on the windshield of the RV, inside the RV, like on the inside of the windshield. It was so cold.
That was cold.
And then Dad got all mad, and the tube that goes from the...
No, that was Austin.
It was both places.
Yeah.
It froze. The tube that cleans out the black and gray tanks of the RV froze. And we were trying to get out of there, which makes that kind of difficult.
I was having to like chip away at the ice to break away the
Which, just to be clear, that's not freshwater.
yeah. Yeah, no, that was not freshwater ice. It was not. And clearly we had a leak there somewhere that we needed to probably take care of.
The moral of the story, don't eat yellow snow. That's kind of what we got from that.
So, Addy, I remember you saying a couple of years ago that when you grew up and went to school, that you didn't feel the need to go really far away because you said we've gotten to travel a lot and I've gotten to see a lot of places, so I'm not like dying to leave and see a lot of places. Do you still think that's the case? Do you remember saying that?
I do remember saying that, something like that. I also remember saying that when I'm grown and have my own house, I don't feel like I'm going to move very often because we've moved so much.
We did move a lot.
I mean, the college I'm going to is only 2.5 hours away, so it's definitely a little different, but I'm not dying to get away, like go to California and go to college type deal. Definitely not dying for that.
You don't want to join the Marine Corps?
No.
Okay, so Zach, speaking of Marine Corps,
Speaking of,
what made you choose the Marine Corps over the other branches?
I knew because I looked at Army for a long time because I wanted to be a 68 Whiskey, which is a combat medic. And I wanted to do a bunch of stuff, combat engineer. I was like, blow stuff up, patch people up, sounds super cool. But at the end of the day, as I looked towards the Army and the Coast Guard, I kind of thought like I would always regret not being a Marine because you can be the coolest dude in the Army, but then there's the Marines. So I was like, well, I kind of have to do that, or I'm just going to end up doing it again later when my body is probably not in the best shape for that. So I think personally, out of like doing what I've done in the Marine Corps and getting to work with other branches, that was definitely the right pick for me because I see the other branches and I'm like, you guys are great. You do cool stuff. I like working with you guys, but it's different. It's like almost like a different echelon of the way you behave, the way you work, the way you act, the way you just like are yourself around other people. But like, yeah, I mean, that's...
It
I think it's
seems
a good
more.
answer.
It seems more polished, I guess. Maybe might be like in terms of even formations, uniforms, expectations. Like even the boot camp structure. Like you didn't get your phone on Sundays
No, I did not.
during periods.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So what do you think the Marine Corps? What do you think is the biggest thing that you've learned so far about life in general just by being in the Marine Corps?
How important connections are, having connections with people. Since I've been with different bases, I've been to different units, I've been to different, like met a bunch of different people just throughout my journey. And when we go places, there's a bunch of other units there. You meet those people, and then, you exchange contact information, whatever. Now you have that person that you can always like, kind of be like, hey, quick question, or hey, just letting you know, or whatever. And then that's just like a connection that you have for whatever, really. I mean, I'm about to start selling a bunch of furniture. I probably know 7 people who would love to buy a bunch of furniture, and that's an easy connection I just made right there. Or one of my coworkers works at a gun store part-time while also being an armorer. That's a connection I have, first of all, with that gun store. If for whatever reason I stayed here after I got out and I wanted to work there, or for just having kind of like an in on the gun store, like, hey, what's going on down there? Any new stuff? Anything cool? Just like things like that. It's just like how important it is having that connection. And even on the small stuff, like, hey, I know that guy brings extra snacks to the field. If I want something, get with that guy. It's just like the little stuff can help you learn in long term how you can just enhance your life by being connected with people and having connections.
I mean, the saying your net worth is equal to your network, and that kind of holds true. We were all eating at a restaurant. It It was terrible. Where did we go? It was a steakhouse. We
Texas
went,
Roadhouse?
Yeah. That's what it was. And you remember there was a bunch of military guys there. And I don't know if you guys even caught this, but two of them walked in and they're like, "Oh man, I didn't even know you were here." And they clearly had been stationed somewhere else together, and they just happened to bump into each other in this roadhouse. And it was
It was Veterans Day.
I get it, but the whole nation doesn't go to that Texas road, although it felt like it. But we didn't really put the two together that it was Veterans Day. We went and eat there.
Well, you remember yesterday at Target,
Yeah.
one of my old custodians walked up and we started chatting. He had left the unit a couple months ago, or was like getting ready to leave the unit. And I was like, "Oh, cool. It was nice to work with you." Like custodian, as in like he works in the armory, but he's not an armorer or an optics tech. He's just someone that they pulled from a different shop to work in there because we need people. He worked for a couple months with me, and then we got a new guy, and he left, and I hadn't seen him since then. Just saw him at the Target. He's going to a new unit, which is the unit that I am now a part of. And then like just someone that I worked pleasantly with for a couple months is now someone that I will. He does a different job that can help me and benefit me and my job and my people having that in that sector, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Like
and it's awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's really cool.
So, Justin, what do you think that network has done for us in business in the last 30 years?
I know that we have I don't even know how many hundreds of phone numbers I have in my phone. And if I ever need anything, I always have somebody that I can reach out to. Whether it's business or personal, I think that's the importance of having a good network is whatever you got going on, there's somebody who's either been there or gone through it or is going through it. So you always kind of have that different cycle of, okay, well, I know this dude's been through it, so I need to call this dude, or this person's going through it too. So I think that's so helpful and so important. And we talk about it a lot, and even, especially in the business with, we talk about Service Nation a lot with that, how many people and friends we have from that. Obviously, their boot camp for Service Nation is a little different than the boot camp you went to.
Little, probably.
More push-ups in the Service Nation one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Addy, what do you want to be as an adult?
I want to be a pediatric oncology nurse.
Why?
What is that, first of all? What is that?
A pediatric oncology nurse, oncology is cancer, and then pediatric is children.
Okay.
So I want to nurse children with cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you know that, though.
I just want to clarify it.
Okay.
For all the listeners who may not, because I would have never known what that was until she told me whenever she wanted to be that.
I've wanted to do that since 8th grade. I really don't have a reason. I don't know. I went to the hospital one day for my eye, and I left the hospital wanting to be a pediatric oncology nurse. There's really no explanation for it other than God, I guess. That was his plan.
I like it.
So 5 years from now, you will be about to or already graduated. Just graduated from college with an RN. So where do you think you're going to be? What do you think that's going to look like? What is life going to be like for Addy 5 years from now?
Well, I know I want to get out of Gulf Breeze. That doesn't mean I want to go super far, but I definitely don't want to be in Gulf Breeze anymore.
Maybe more like Pace.
I'm not completely sure where I want to work, but I just know that I want to work. Not really sure yet. I don't have that much planned out yet.
It's all right. You don't start college till next year.
You got time.
Zack, in 5 years, you'll be probably done. Or at least inactive.
Well,
Most likely.
you'll be at decision time.
Well,
no,
less
you'll
than
be.
that.
No, in
No,
5
you
years,
will.
I'll be getting done with my inactive reserve. So I'll be like a couple months away from being completely done with the government if I decide to only do this one contract. Whether reenlistment is a thing or not right now is kind of...
So let's say reenlistment was the path, right? So what does 5 years from now look like for that?
5 years from now, I think I'd be just wrapping up with that second enlistment because, well, let's see.
Would it be 4 year second enlistment? Do they do them in 4 years?
Yeah, they do them before.
And then, so if you didn't re-enlist, then what would 5 years look like?
I mean, in the next year or 2 years and some change, maybe I'll be getting out. I will probably pursue something with guns because I have now the background, the professionalism, the qualifications, and then just the interest. So it would only make sense to, do a job you love. That's a job I love. I could do something with that. And then I just like cars. I want to do something with cars. I haven't figured out what yet, but that's kind of a back burner idea. Maybe a mechanic, maybe just flip cars or something. I don't know, but like.
Do you want to own your own business?
I want to own my own gun business pretty much, or at least my own shop. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily like, I don't want to manufacture because that's a completely different thing than selling. And I can sell. I don't know about manufacturing though. That's a different story. That is really like, I understand the math, but I don't want to do it because I understand it type deal.
I'll say that mechanic, just like in other trades, with plumbing and AC, it's really becoming one of those trades that are.
There's less and less people entering that course.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And you think about, even your generation go to the even the next generation. A lot of cars aren't even going to have things like fluid.
Right, but you always need mechanics.
100%. I agree.
That's something you always need. Trust me, guns aren't going anywhere.
Guns are not going anywhere, and cars are not going anywhere.
Whatever you see anywhere, guns are not going anywhere. There will always be guns around. Cars, with the electronics, it becomes an issue of not learning necessarily the mechanics, but learning a lot about coding and electronics, which is not really my strong suit. But there's still the mechanical aspects of electric cars. They have wheels, which means they have gears, which means they have blah, blah, blah. You can still...
Brakes.
Yeah, brakes. I mean, you can still, I could still make money tinting windows on a Tesla because they still got windows for now. Mechanics is an interesting thing. Like, no matter how electronic you make it, unless it's a car made out of like a hologram where it's just light projection, there's always gonna be something to work on.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think that even if they stopped making, if everything was electric car right now, it would still be 50 years until.
Yeah, and you're going to always have the sector of people who refuse to.
Correct.
To partake in all things electric.
Yeah, I choose to not participate.
Yeah. So I don't think the traditional motor is going anywhere.
No.
Well, my Lexus is going to outlive me and my children and my children's children. So, I mean, like...
Did you say your Lexus?
My Lexus, my Toyota, my 1UZ engine. Okay, super sick. It's got a while before it's going anywhere. I mean, same with all these other older engines. Like, they're still producing vehicles with combustion engines.
Yes.
Rapid, like way more than they're producing anything else car-related. So to say within, at least in the next 5 years, that there's not going to be any more is going to be crazy. And also, like you said, there's always going to be the people that are going to want mechanical combustion versus electric. I don't want an electric car because there's a bunch of reasons I don't want an electric car, but they're not very loud and they're not very fast. So.
Well, they can be. You just push a button now and make them sound loud.
What's the fun of that?
So I have a question. So as you guys are kind of entering into adulthood, having parents that owned businesses, and obviously we had business conversations, you guys were in the room, sometimes in the boardroom, like you guys were really exposed to a lot of that stuff. Do you guys think that there's parts of that you'll be able to use as you get into adulthood or into whatever the future looks like?
I think I learned a lot about critical thinking skills and like not giving up when something gets difficult and like pushing myself more when things get difficult. I think that's really what stuck with me the most through all the business and all that RV stuff.
That's an amazing answer. And we had no idea that was going to be your answer. So that's pretty cool.
I mean,
that feels good.
I'd have to pretty much agree because we were super similar age, like super similar age mental state. So like a lot of the things that she would have grabbed onto would have been similar to what I would have grabbed onto. I'd say pretty similar. Definitely like how to conduct leadership and how to conduct business just by watching you guys in boardrooms and watching you guys, you guys still pop up on my Instagram. This podcast pops on my Instagram. Shout out Instagram podcast. But like just the basically a good example of good leadership would be my best answer on that.
Cool.
We'll take it.
Boom. I guess we have to feed him today.
Hey, man, we got corn pudding and macaroni and cheese in the oven.
We do. We still have so much Thanksgiving food. And today, the time of recording is Saturday, which is the Iron Bowl, which is a national holiday within itself in our family. So
It's also Troy versus Southern Miss.
it is Troy. So, okay,
Go
you didn't say that
Trojans.
before. Yeah, you didn't say that before, but
Oh, yeah. I am going to Troy University starting in the fall. So excited. Cry Havoc.
are you going to?
Is that their
Yes.
call?
Yes. I'm pretty sure at least. I could be wrong. And that will be really embarrassing. But I saw it on a bunch of merch said Cry Havoc, so I'm going with that.
So have you seen the commercial when the guy's like, high tide, high tide?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I
They're like, you
noticed
should
about
check your college's tagline before you start yelling it.
We can fix it in post. Just no big deal. We'll fix it in post.
Oh, no, we don't do any editing.
Oh, perfect.
But I guarantee you that commercial will come on for the game today. So,
Yeah.
well, cool. It's always fun. Actually, this is the first time we've had you guys on, and I want to keep that going because really a lot of times when we, see people out and at shows or whatever, they ask about you guys. Like that's they always want to know what you guys are up to, what you got going on.
Yeah, most of the people in our network have known you guys since around
yeah.
4th and 6th grade, really. So even though you don't know them, they've all watched y'all grow up.
That's true. Yeah.
So now you're almost adulting.
Well,
We're
Zach
almost
is
there.
adulting.
Zach is adulting.
and
Addy's
there.
right behind him, which is super crazy.
So,
I have a question for you.
yeah.
Okay. So how do you think that parenting affected your leadership, and how do you think leadership affected your parenting?
That's a really good question.
We got him.
I don't know. I think with leadership, a lot of times with employees, you have to practice a lot of patience, and you also have to do that with kids. So it's one of those things where you kind of learn one from the other. And as much as we don't like to use the terminology as your team members or children, there's a lot of that common respect and that you have to exercise with both of them. So there's my off-the-cuff answer.
That sounds good. Sweet.
Well, now I have to ask you a question.
Okay.
Same question back to you.
I think let's see. Being able to tune into how the person communicates to be able to get to a mutual result, because like both of our kids communicate and receive information in different ways. So you have to approach issues in different ways with both of them. Zack, you can be pretty direct. Addy, you kind of have to like ease your way into the conversation and whatever. And I think the same is true for leadership. Not all people on your team that you're leading are going to react in the same way or communicate in the same way. So you have to get to know them well enough that you're communicating on in a way that they can hear you.
Your answer is way better than mine. Because yes, Zach went in the Marines, so I could communicate with him a little bit different way than with Addy. Cool. All right. Well, we're going to get to eating leftovers, and then we're going to get to watching some football today. So everybody, appreciate you checking out the podcast, hanging out with us a little bit, and we hope to catch you next week.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
You've been listening to the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. Information is useless if not applied. So take what you've learned and go and implement it. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on social media at Freedom Blueprint for Home Services and hit the website at www.freedomblueprintpodcast.com. See you next time.